I have just so much admiration for Reese Witherspoon for everything that she's done. But growing up as a child of the 80s and into the 90s, having like Legally Blonde um, was was actually something that like impacted my life because if she, right, she was like that whole like it's hard to get into Harvard, and you but you saw her cramming and how much support she had around her in her community that was helping her in every way, shape, or form. Like they were sitting there with the drinks and like whatever, and she studied, and they were doing her all of the photography to put her shoot together for her, and like what it really took was that she had a village. And I think we often miss that was like she was just a really great person. She was very smart in that, right, in that movie. And she was a good person. And that really flexed because her community stood behind her when she wanted to do something and helped her get there. And what she did with it was a lot of good in that spot. And so maybe that's ridiculous that that's what I saw out of that, but that's what I got. But then I started looking at Reese as a whole over because I do study businesses for fun, um, and for work. And I just one of the cases that I continue to love and to deconstruct is just what she's done in terms of building an empire that was
She has,
rooted
yeah.
on on her laurels, right? Of like her values, what she believed in, where her purpose was. And she was like, I am tired of women being seen in a certain light. I am tired of having to play the victim. I'm tired of ageism being a thing. And all of those great stories that she wanted to tell in a way that, right? Like, look at the stories she has told. Um, and that she's been a part of. And you just think like, you know what? Like she's done like, what an example, what a role model for people to look up to of somebody who decided to use their voice, to amplify so many more.
I like that you called out the ageism part. I might be getting this wrong, but I remember watching an interview of hers years ago. This is like before the morning show. And she said that she really made the jump to producing and trying to even write as well because she realized that the way Hollywood treats women when they start to get into their 40s is you kind of get relegated to like basically being someone's grandmother, or you get relegated to playing a mother, and that's really about it. And she kind of realized that if she wanted to continue playing the roles that she wanted to play and tell the story she wanted to tell, she couldn't wait around for someone else. She had to take a lot more authorship of that.
It it's entirely true. I mean, look, I'm gonna speak a little candidly, but we've seen this a lot in our industry.
Yeah.
It's a big part of the reason that I talk about it on the 6th, which is my podcast, but we talk about owning the rails a lot, like own your rails and the importance of that. And I truly, truly believe that because you get to a point where we are seen as relics in our industry. And yet to me, there's so much value in that knowledge, in that the wealth of right. We used to have our elders to tell stories because that was important because it was knowledge. There was institutional knowledge that was in there. So we wouldn't make the same mistakes over and over, which is the actual definition of insanity. Um, but we lose that sometimes because newer, younger, cheaper, better, faster, right? Like we have these notions that that's the case. And we have these notions in Hollywood that no one wants to see wrinkles, like, no one wants to see my laugh lines, but I'm like, "But I earned them."
Mhm.
So many laughter, so much laughter, I earned those, like, why can't I show them? And it's only right, like, we look at nature, I say this all the time, and I, like, stop and look at the trees, and we have in my neighborhood, like, trees that are hundreds of years old, what a blessing and they're so beautiful and they have all these deep rooted cracks and stuff in them and it like that's what adds to the beauty of the age of the tree and of nature and yet like women we can't that's the line